what's everyone, Same Time Gaming here. Welcome back for another Division 2 build video. Well guys, the build today I have for you is one of those weird looking builds again that, it just has no purpose in the game just to look weird, but then again, it just works. It's one of those builds, it's just so underrated, just like my channel. So yeah, it just works, that's one of these builds. Now with this build, you are going to be supporting your team. It's a support build, it's a tank support build, and two ways you can run it. One is an offensive way, one is a defensive way. Now there's only one talent all you need to change to make it from offensive to defensive. So let's jump to the build here. So this is my build over here, as you can see. Now it looks weird, like I said, but trust me guys, at the end of the video you will end up liking this video and the build itself, and you'll know how good this build is, and it's really viable to run it. It's just build like these don't get too much attention because not the big YouTubers make them, but still it just works. Like I said, just bear with me here and I'll tell you what it is. So I'm using the survivalist specialization here. Now the reason why I'm using survivalist specialization is because it's giving my teammates the 10% damage to target out of cover, 2 status effect targets. Now status effect targets, you're gonna say how we can get them. Well, I'm using the Scorpio. The Scorpio has status effect built into it, and I mean basically you fire and you put on those crazy status effect, and when your teammates shoot those targets, they're going to do that multiplicative damage. And also I have protection from elites in this survivalist specialization, so that's going to help me as well. Since I'm a tank, I need to stay alive to support my teammates, so that's basically it. Now like I said, the weapon is my Scorpio. It's a shotgun also, so that's why I'm running it. Now the reason why I'm running a shotgun, 2 shotguns actually, I'll get to that in a moment, but my secondary right now, as you can see, it's 612 shotgun, which I have, and it's got Vindictive Talent on it. Now the reason why I have Vindictive, because I'm a support guy, so I was thinking about using some support talent as well. Like all my talents basically are support talents. No talent is like useful for me, but for my entire group, so that's how I'm a support guy. So Vindictive is actually really good because some of my teammates do run less amount of crit chance and more like crit damage and headshot damage. So with Vindictive I can increase their crit chance as well, which is really nice to have. Now I do need to kill a status affected target for that, so what I usually do is I use my Scorpio, put the targets on status effect, swap to the 612 and kill them to get that Vindictive active. That's basically what I do. Now that's for the weapons. Now my build here, I'm running 4-piece of True Patriot. Now the reason why I'm running 4-piece True Patriot is because 2-piece, as you can see, gives me 30% ammo capacity, which is helpful because I'm running a shotgun. 3-piece gives me that 30% magazine size, which is also helpful for a shotgun. And now the 4th piece is red, white, and blue, but unfortunately white buff from the True Patriot doesn't work on your teammates. It's just a 2% armor repair for every second, so that's fine. It doesn't work, it's all right. I mean, it works for you though, so that's really good. Now the red buff works for everyone, for you and for your teammates. It amplifies enemy damage taken by 8%, so your teammates will do 8% multiplicative damage to the guys who are flagged with red, and also they will take 8% less damage when the enemy is flagged with blue. And when all enemies have all the flags active, they're gonna explode once you kill them, and that explosion will deal damage to the nearby targets, so that's really sweet as well. Now I went for all armor regen as my minor attribute is because I wanted to survive. I don't went for crate or anything. I mean, if you want to do it, feel free to do it. Whatever you want to do, feel free to do it. It's your build. I'm just showing you the way I run it. You can change anything you want on your like. There's no restrictions on that. But I'm went for armor regen is because I just want to have a little bit of armor regen because I'm playing like higher difficulty content, especially like summit on legendaries or even raid. So armor regen is kind of really helpful. Now it's not that great, like 80k or 90k, 100k armor regen. It is decent enough to keep me alive and regen my armor over time, which will help me in the long run. So I have that. Now I have protection from elites just because I will be very protective against elite. Plus I'm running a shotgun with all those crazy amount of status effect going on and the multiplicative damage. Against the red NPCs and the purple NPCs, I will be strong enough to kill them, but the elites are the one who's going to give me a lot of trouble since I'm a tank and I need to go front. But the armor regen and also the protection from elites will help me on that, so that's why I went for it. And as you can see, all my True Patriot pieces have armor regen on it, every single piece, and also my chest piece also have armor regen. Now speaking of my chest piece, I'm using the high-end chest piece, which is the named pointsman, named Gilligard, the perfect Vanguard talent. Now it's a support build like I told you, so I have the perfect Vanguard here. Now I have 1.9 million like armor, and 50% of that is a lot. Seriously, it's a lot of armor. And when I put up my shield, I will be giving 50% of my armor as a bonus armor to my teammates, so that's going to help them a lot. Now this stays for 20 seconds and the cooldown is 25 seconds, so basically you have like a 5 second of window, or you just have to wait for 5 seconds basically to get them the armor back again. And as you can see, I have armor regen, has a protection. I went for a and protection from elites. Now for my backpack, this is where I caught a little bit of double-minded which one I should use. First I was using the Tough backpack here because of I'm running shotgun, so I went for the shotgun damage. But then I realized that having the Bellstone with 1% armor regen is really helpful because it's increasing my armor regen by quite good amount. So that's why I went for the Bellstone armory. And I have the Opportunistic Talent here. Now this is why I told you there's two version of this build. One is the offensive and one is the defensive. Now this one which I'm showing you is the offensive one. The offensive reason, my teammates will do a lot of multiplicative damage. That's why it's offensive. And the defensive, I'm going to keep them alive like all the time. So that's the defensive. So Opportunistic Talent, if you guys don't know, if you use a shotgun or a marksman rifle, you're going to be putting on the NPCs on a debuff, which is basically a buff for you. It's 10% of multiplicative damage. So it will be 5 seconds, but since you're firing all the time, it's going to stay there. There's no cooldown on it. So once you fire your weapon, you're putting 10% multiplicative damage on those targets which your teammates will shoot to gain. That's basically it. So with this build, you're putting on 28% multiplicative damage, and all you have to do is fire your weapon. That's how simple it is. You don't have to apply anything. You don't have to apply any type of status effect, or I mean, yes, you have to apply status effect, but then you don't have to use any skills. Basically, just fire your weapon, and all these things gonna apply by itself. So you have 10% multiplicative damage from Opportunistic, 10% multiplicative damage from damage to target out of cover from your survivalist specialization, 8% multiplicative damage from your True Patriot red buff. So you have 28%, which is you giving your entire group, and they're just gonna love you for that. Now that's the offensive version of this. Now the defensive one, what I have to do is I just take away the talent Opportunistic. As you can see, I can modify this talent. So I take away this talent and put on Galvanize on it. Now Galvanize, I have a Galvanize talent here to show you guys. I don't run this backpack, but I'm just showing you the talent. I run this exact same backpack. I just changed the talent to Galvanize. So the Galvanize is a defensive way of running this build. So when I apply Blind, Ensnare, Confuse, or Shock to an enemy, grants 40% of my armor as a bonus armor to my allies for 20 meters for 10 seconds. And there isn't any cooldown on this. Vanguard has a cooldown for 25 seconds, but the Galvanize has no cooldown. It stays for 10 seconds, and after 10 seconds, you can apply again. And this works for you as well. So if you want to feel a little more protective by your side, then you can run Galvanize rather than Opportunistic, and you're just gonna be keeping yourself and all your team alive. So when your Vanguard is active and then your Vanguard is on cooldown, you can put on like Galvanize on them, so you will be giving 40% of your armor to them as well. So your Galvanize is working. You can also stack up Galvanize and Vanguard at the same time, so that's gonna look like insane on them. They have that crazy amount of bonus armor on them, your teammates. So it's really amazing. It's hilarious to watch, honestly. So yeah, just try it out like this and let me know how you feel about it. There's 2 ways I told you to run. Of course, feel free to say anything else if you want to add in the comment section. I would be love to hear that. But I feel like this is actually really good way to run this, especially the offensive way with that Opportunistic and giving those multiplicative damage. But sometimes your teammates may not need the extra multiplicative damage, so you don't really need to run the Opportunistic. So better run Galvanize at that point and just keep them alive all the time. Like Vanguard is there and Galvanize is there, and all you have to do is point and shoot from your weapon. You don't have to worry about basically anything. Just dropping your shield every 20 seconds, I mean 25 seconds. That's all you have to do. Otherwise, just point and shoot, and you're just gonna keep your teammates alive. If they can't survive with Galvanize and Vanguard, if they go down, well then they're dumb. That's all I have to say. So yeah, that's basically the build. Now let me show you my stats here. There's nothing impressive to look at my stats. I don't have like crit chance or crit damage or anything. But if I go to my defensive, as you can see, I have 42,000 armor regen, and I have 46% protection from elites. So that's what is kind of keeping me alive, and that's basically it. But remember, you will get that bit of healing from your white debuff or buff from True Patriot, and also Galvanize. If you run it, you're gonna get that extra bonus armor from that as well. So yeah, that's how you can keep yourself alive. And the amount of armor you have, and since you're using the shotgun to put on those confuse, poison, shock, you will, take those NPCs, like stagger those NPCs with those status effects, so you don't have to worry about dying or taking too much damage. So plus you have a shield as well, like a Crusader shield, so you can put that on to just protect yourself at that point. So yeah, just play it like that and see how it goes for you, and let me know in the comment section down below that what do you think about this build. But I think this is really good tank support build. I mean, one of the best right now for like going offensive way, if not the best. I don't know. I don't think there's going to be any good support build than this, but there might be. I mean, I have a Eclipse Protocol build on my mind similar to this, but then Eclipse Protocol do requires a lot to farm. So yeah, you have to farm a lot because it's a skill tier. But this one, True Patriot, it's super easy to farm. It always comes with armor on it. Plus Pointsman, I'm pretty sure most of you guys do have a Pointsman. A Bellstone Armory backpack is not that hard to farm. Just you can go to the targeted loot, and the shotgun itself is free. So I would say making the entire build is not that hard. So just, slap in it and try it out and see how it goes. And yeah, that's basically it for the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, peace.